Go ahead, Sheila.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for having me today, and I'd like to encourage your listeners to get a pencil out and take some notes on this brief visit I have with you. The smart meters are part of an infrastructure of wireless technology that really got in our homes back in the 1980s with the cordless phones with the antennas that pulled out. Well, as these seem so convenient, these personal devices like our cordless home phones, baby monitors, and Wi-Fi, as well as these smart meters, emit 900 million waves per second. So everything you've been talking about this morning regarding autism, the influence of GMOs on our digestive...
No, they've done university studies. You put fish near a router or plants, you name it, it ends up making the plants not grow as fast or not germinate, and ends up making the fish mentally retarded. But that's a good thing. Government loves us.
Well, the thing is, these personal devices, your cordless phone, baby monitors, etc., were designed to service your home radius. These smart meters are set up to cover square miles of penetration of these frequencies. However,
and they've been linked to cancer and death. What's wrong with that? Are you an extremist?
You know what? I am a person who says no when it comes to my community. So in our little 5,000 population in the center of Texas, we implemented Texas Local Government Code 9.004, which allowed by petition of the people to write up and change our city charter to specifically allow utility customers the right to reject installation or request removal of any product or service.
You know, that's awesome. I've been reading about cities and people passing stuff like that. Send us the proposal. And we'll do a story on it. Send it to showtips@infowars.com. What city are you in?
I'm in Brady, Texas, the heart of Texas, but I've had difficulty getting information to you. So you need to tell your guys to watch out for this information.
Well, they get like 10,000 emails a day, but we're trying, ma'am. I hear you.
But this is empowering. Every community in Texas, Alex, can do what we did. It is the purest form of democracy, where the people write up.
So you passed it? It did pass?
By 72% of the vote.
Let's stop right there. Send it as smart meter in the byline to showtips@infowars.com. And also, I'll off-air give you another email. And then you're the type of person we'd like to have come to town and be in studio talking about how you did this, because this is a great solution idea. I'm glad you got it on the show. They've done stuff like Department of Energy's come in with these incentives that, if you'll put a smart house in, we'll use taxpayer money to pay for half of it or something. And that's all done to get this. There it is, New York Times. As towns say no, signs of rising resistance to smart meters. And it does talk about Brady, Texas. New York Times. Wow, good job. That was on May 18th. Well done. And who honchoed this?
Texas Tribune came and spent 3 hours in an interview here at this little town. But Alex, what we need are the hounds of hell to go after this with their personal injury attorneys. When you look at the pathetic, quote, science that the FCC...
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Exactly. You fight fire with fire. Use the knuckle-dragging lawyers. Hey, I tell you what, we're going to come right back to you. And so Sheila, were you involved in this?
Oh, yes, sir. But I'm just like everybody else.
Tell you what, I know you're just like everybody else.
Our viewers have demanded it, so now you're gonna get it. More pro-Second Amendment gun shows in the month of June.
What we've learned is you cannot hide behind an I-beam when there's a 50 cal present.
Brothers in Arms, 50 cal ammo review, and more. Coming in the month of June to the InfoWar.
I need to take phone calls more because I just started going to phone calls, and Sheila in Texas told us, I'm going to go back to her in a moment, about a May 18th New York Times article, as towns say no, signs of rising resistance to smart meters. And the first article is about Brady, Texas, and she was involved in it. And she told us about it. And I knew there was resistance in towns passing it, but I didn't know this was happening in Texas. And for those that don't know, the smart meters have been in major studies. The levels of microwave radiation they're putting out have been directly linked to cancer. Even the New York Times itself has reported on that. But the bigger issue that you cannot debate is that the CIA director, Petraeus, before he left, admitted, and guys, type this in and show viewers. If you're a radio listener, you can go to Infowars.com and pull this up. But it was in Wired Magazine, AP, Reuters. Just type in CIA director, your dishwasher is watching you. And he said, oh, your computer, your dishwasher, your clock, radio, all of it under globalist specs worldwide, from Australia to the U.S., the entire Western world, everything being made via specs has systems to turn it on and listen to you, to track what you're doing. They can send data, not just wirelessly, but data over power lines now, where the electrical cord sends orders. And there it is, CIA chief will spy on you through your dishwasher. Boom. Boom. Wired Magazine. Now, again, I told you this 15 years ago because MIT was bragging in MIT Magazine about it. Now, this lady called in, Sheila, and she was involved, she says, in all this. She told us about it. As towns say no, signs of rising resistance to smart meters all over the country. They radiate you. They spy on you. And they go, you're just against technology. We don't have to go out and meter read anymore. No, you bragged. You think we're so dumb. You bragged. We know you're spying on us. It's a robot, an Imperial probe droid attached to the side of your house, sending back information to the globalists that make Darth Vader look like a choir boy. Going back to Sheila. Sheila, make the point you say is so important. Go ahead.
Well, Alex, you're sitting here talking about fluoride in your city water. Get a petition together. It requires 5% of the registered voters, or 20,000, whichever is less. You, by petition, change your city charter to get fluoride out of your water. Change your city charter that says that you as a resident have the right to remove any product or service you deem harmful to your person, property, or privacy, regardless of whatever the elected officials say, that they don't think there's a problem. We are the people. This is power. So as all the issues that are so rampant globally, right here in our amongst us, we feel so overwhelmed.
Tell the listeners how you did it in Brady, Texas, passing a law that if people say, I don't want property rights, a known robot spy radiating me attached to my house, send a person, which notice, this also gets to the issue of how we need to decide the future of humanity together, not have the globalists who think we're scum decide it, where they're using robots and computers to replace us on purpose. It's not like we're a lobby saying don't get rid of horse and carriages. They're trying to just set up a system that makes us obsolete. We need to build a civilization where humans are needed and are not obsolete. I'm going to go to break, Sheila, and come back to you. You're going to have the floor in this segment. Many anthropologists and archaeologists believe that before man even discovered the power to harness and use fire, we were involved in agrarian activities. That is, taking the seeds of plants and then replanting them to produce more. The very foundation of our modern civilization and human culture is centered around the planting and cultivation of edible plants, fruits, vegetables, nuts, you name it. And the globalists have been going after gardening. They've been harassing people that have gardens in their front yards or their backyards. They've called for licenses for people to have gardens because you can't trust prisoners in the police state America to be able to grow their own food. That's why I've come to the realization that we need to become self-sufficient. You need to be informed. You need to have the Second Amendment to protect yourself. You need to be politically active to wake up others. You need to filter your water. But you also need to plant a garden. Even if you live in an apartment, you can do this. If you live in the countryside, obviously you can do it on a grand scale. There are so many green belts in areas that humans don't even visit, nearby cities and in suburbs, where people are now more and more planting their own little private gardens and meadows and off the side of the road. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a revolutionary act to unplug from the television, to unplug from the computer and all the globalist propaganda, and to go out in your backyard or your front yard or planters at your apartment or on the roof of the building where you live, and to plant a garden.
Here are some of the amazing deals at InfoWars Seed Center at InfoWarsShop.com. The Survival Seed Vault by My Patriot Supply features only the finest survival heirloom seeds for a robust and hardy garden, even in the toughest of times. The ARC All-in-One Seed Kit contains 70 varieties of 50,000 seeds of fruits, vegetables, medicinal, and culinary herbs. All ARC seeds are heirloom. Each type is labeled and sealed separately for ease of use and longevity. The Deluxe Emergency Seed Bank combines 3 of Emergency Seed Bank's top sellers: the Family Survival Emergency Seed Bank, the Medicinal Herb Seeds Pack, and the Culinary Herb Seeds Pack. We also have starter varieties of the deluxe seed packages for fruit, salad, salsa, peppers, and medicinal herbs and more. Go to the InfoWars Seed Center at InfoWarsShop.com.
A little seed can grow a huge tree that produces fruit for up to 50 years. We have the best life bombs. That's what these are. We have the best weapons against death out there at the lowest prices, waiting for you to lovingly plant them and lovingly grow them and lovingly eat them and share them with others. We will strike back against the New World Order, and this is only one more initiative in our fight against them. So please join us at InfoWarsShop.com, or you can link through at Infowars.com at the InfoWars Seed Center. A smart meter is a master control system that ties into all the other electronics. Another way they're sneaking this in is smart house systems, where you actually bring the Trojan horse in yourself and pay for it. And again, these technologies wouldn't be bad if the globalists weren't engineering it to be oppressive. But here is New York Times, Associated Press, SourceFedNews.com, all of it. Look at this. Kinect is always listening on your Xbox One. We reported this 2 years ago. But privacy is a top priority for Microsoft. What a joke. And it says, well, if you have it set to high privacy, it only gives the CPU enough power to spy on certain keywords. But if you really want to have it, face scan you when you enter the room and basically talk to you, you've got to have it on the other settings. So you're not allowed to not have it spy on you. Remember I told you 10 years ago that Google had patents to watch everything you're doing over the camera and microphone and sell it to the NSA? Oh, yeah, right. Now it's just out in the open. Xbox One is watching you. And there's no way to turn it off. And you're not allowed to play unless it's online. And then you go pay to bring it into your house. And then they have the CIA director going, yeah, we're watching everything you do without warrants. Don't listen to that kook Alex Jones, though. Just like it's mainstream news that McCain met with Wahhabis that actually wear al-Qaeda uniforms and fly al-Qaeda flags, demanding more taxpayer money to them. But your attractive wife, because that's we've done studies, you've seen it in the news, that's who they're going to pull. She's going to get groped, man, by guys that and women. Because the women, the ones that like doing that, are people that like to force something on someone. Can you imagine that? Only in America. They're going to have to look inside your underwear. There's a new video out, one of our activists, where they're grabbing on her. She says, don't touch me there, and they, of course, do. Because that's why they want that job. I mean, in the old days, you go to a park and do that. You go to jail if you're one of those type of people. But now you get to wear a uniform, and because of al-Qaeda. Whoa, man, works great, doesn't it? Drink your fluoride, folks. Drink your fluoride. Okay, Sheila, make your point about what you guys did getting rid of the smart meters in your area of Texas, as reported on by the New York Times.
Well, Alex, finding Texas Local Government Code 9.004 was of itself a battle. This started out in October when our city council indebted our small community $2.5 million to put in all these smart meters of water, electrical, and gas meters on our homes. They did this with 2-line sentence in our city agenda, which we fought as being a violation of Texas Opens Meetings Law. But there's a real good reason why you have the saying you can't beat City Hall, and that's a long story into itself. But because of right after that, I started submitting agenda action item forms to be an action item on the agenda, which was denied to me 5 times by our mayor, who happens to live across the street from me, and we share a parking lot at work. So you don't get much closer to your elected officials. Even in this small little community, I was literally blocked 5 times for even having the ability to seek action of my elected officials.
Which, by the way, is illegal under the state constitution. And again, it shows how there's a wall because they know they're in the wrong, and there's always money paid one way or other. And it turns out smart meters break more often, cost more money, have to be replaced quicker. So it actually also is another boondoggle on top of it.
Well, in one report, after a matter of hours in one little home, there was already a dishwasher fire. Well, who ever heard of a dishwasher fire? You know, that just doesn't happen. Okay, so then because of all the high profile and the fact that there's so many issues about the smart meter, but let me tell you personally, the reason I'm in this to the magnitude of sacrifice and time and energy is the health consequences. Your pineal gland that detects darkness can't tell the difference between light frequencies and the frequencies from these high...
That's right, so you're never really getting sleep. You're never, absolutely. Studies in rats, you can look them up, find they actually sleep better when the wireless is off.
Well, I had a Vietnam vet. I have a little wellness shop, and so I have people come in all the time about sleeping problems. And he was sleeping 1 hour a day. I said, Joe, go get rid of your cordless phone, turn off your Wi-Fi, put your cell phone inside the room, and Alex, he starts sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night. People come in complaining of migraines and headaches. Ask them, do you have curly light bulbs? The compact fluorescence? Yes, I do. Get rid of them.
Don't they put out something like 10,000 times the radiation of a regular light bulb?
They have 500 units of Grand Spectre units of radiation compared to an incandescent that has 30. So as people go replace their ceiling fan with 4 light bulbs, before they had 120 units of radiation, and now they have over 2,000. Now, when you look into this...
Tell you what, stay there, and we've got a website also that... is fighting smart meters. Stay with us. I've been talking about smart meters. I'm talking about how all this is happening. We're going to go back and let Sheila finish her point. There's also a website we can put on screen for TV viewers if people want to visit it as kind of a model for their state. It's Ban Texas Smart Meters. And what is the URL? BanTexasSmartMeters.com. And again, the lady that we have on the line... I'm glad she told us about this. It's in the New York Times, what she and others have been able to do, but she was the one that honchoed it to start. As towns say no, signs of rising resistance to smart meters. Brady, Texas is where it starts, and it talks about what she and others did. Again, more of our listeners taking action. But I thought before we went back to her, since we got on this subject, the Lord moves in mysterious ways. Let me show you some of these articles here for those of you that are in denial. We showed Wired Magazine and AP earlier, where the CIA says they're watching and listening to you via all the smart stuff in your house without warrants. And by the way, you're the target. And they know this stuff is frying you. Frying you. You read it here first. Google's ambient background spy tech. And it has the patent in our article that first reported on it in 2006. People thought we were lying. That's prisonplanet.com. Here's the Daily Mail. Is nothing off limits? Now Google plans to spy on background noise in your phone calls to bombard you with tailored adverts. And that's already begun. But it's not just your phone calls, it's your computer. In your house, it's everything. And then it breaks down their patent from 2006. And they're already doing it, by the way. They are the NSA. Verizon follows Google in turning phones, TV into info wiretaps. That's why you got to have a new digital TV. They got microphones built in. They're tracking everything you do. You're like, what do I have to hide? They're listening, and computers are they're recording it all. And now it's like, well, it's extreme to not want government bugs in my house. So I'd say, go roll up your sleeves, take the shots, drink the fluoride, and get ready and get some burial insurance on you and your family. Because people are going to start dying real fast. You think pediatric cancers are up 10,000% since the 1950s? At the growth curve, another decade or so, it'll be 20,000% from the numbers I've seen. I mean, it's just going to get where everybody's dying, but it's like trendy. Well, let's jog to get funding for all the sick people and fundraisers for everybody that has cancer instead of, why is everybody dying? And it's in America. We lead the world. England's next. And there's cops in England listening right now. Get ready to bury your family. And you can laugh now, bud. Wake up and fight them once your wife's dead or you're dying or your kid dies, okay? I wanted to save your kid, but you're on a power trip. You were picked psychologically because of it, so prepare to die. Prepare to die. I mean, the government is listening to everything. They're poisoning the food and the water. Of course they're evil. Of course the IRS is persecuting liberty groups. Of course the UN runs child kidnapping rings. Oh, yeah, right. Look it up. Thousands of mainstream articles. I'm ranting. I said I'd go to your calls. It's just, I'm right. I know what I'm talking about. I warned you because they were bragging about it. I'm nothing special, except when people say they're killing me and spying on me and jacking me and doing all this stuff, and the honeybees eat the corn pollen and all die, and then the studies come out in Germany and Canada and government studies confirming it. I mean, I read that article like 5 times last year on air out of the Washington Post where it said, farmers are breaking GMO planting rules, not creating sanctuaries for the insects. When they have these GMO wheat crops, potato crops, corn crops, all of it, they have to plant another field the same size so that all the insects don't die. See, the globalists don't want all the insects to die, so you've got to plant something for the insects to eat, and then the humans are given it. I mean, it is just... And I'm just supposed to sit up here day after day, oh, I'm Alex Jones, tune in weekdays, and just act like everything's normal. Let me get some more headlines here. Verizon follows Google in turning phones and TVs into wiretaps. Microsoft Xbox didn't violate Google patent, says ITC. Yeah, they're having, this is NBC News. Google is threatening to sue Microsoft, and they were in federal court with them, administratively, saying, you're turning on microphones and cameras, watching people. That's our patent. But it doesn't exist, though. Don't listen to Alex Jones. There's no bisphenol A hurting your children in the plastic. There's no weather modification. That's the crazy man. The crazy man says the government's listening to you. He's a crazy man. You know, I am crazy. I am crazy watching people go walk over the edge of a cliff, not freaking out over this. Ma'am, finish up your point about send us all your info. You've done a great job as the progenitor of the fight against smart meters in your area, death meters, spy meters, Imperial probe droid meters. So was there anything else you wanted to add?
Yes, Alex. With all the knowledge and gifting you've given your audience, I want to thank you for your efforts, and I just bless you in your mind and in your spirit to be calm with the truth, because the truth is strong. I've been contacted by 30 different communities who want to do what I've done in Brady. This is under Texas Local Government Code 9.004. My website is hyws.us, and click on Take Charge. There's a registration of people who want to learn.
So you're behind the statewide deal. I'm looking at your site. You've got resistance against their murder operation all over the place.
Well,
how dare you, Sheila, not just roll over and die? What, have you not been getting enough vaccines, honey?
Well, actually, Alex, what's interesting is all these frequencies actually stir up the heavy metals that are deposited in these bodies.
Oh, no, I know. It has a compounding additive effect, yes.
Yes, and actually the dots you're seeing right now, those occurred about 5 days after the news went out, just in small circles. And you see that pink dot, Alex?
Yeah, that little evil pink dot?
The pink dot is Emily's story. Emily is so sensitive to electromagnetic fields. As they go to visit a friend's house, she starts arching her back. Eyes start dilating, and the friend that they're visiting goes, oh, my gosh, they put on a smart meter 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, they knew all this a long time ago.
Well, I tell you what, with all the in a world gone out of control and everyone feels helpless, we're not helpless. The power of petition is available to any...
Oh, no. They tell you... Look, I'm going to set you up as a guest on the Nightly News. Put her on hold. Let's get her name, number. I think you're obviously the lady in these news articles. In fact, tell people your full name, Sheila.
It's Sheila Hemphill at Help Yourself Wellness Shop, because it's really up to us to take charge of our health, to take charge of our children's education.
And your phone number's on the screen. We're going to get you on as a full guest. I got to get to these other callers, but folks, you heard them. You can't beat City Hall. Roll over and die. The corporate border here, you will be assimilated. No, it's a fraud. It's a eugenics plan. No. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.